I'd like to welcome everybody to the August 1st, 2024 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
Here.
Any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Number 4, approval of the minutes of the meeting of July 25th, 2024.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives.
Mr. Butt.
Hi, good morning to the board.
Good morning.
Just as a matter of record, the Indiana Harbor Belt has closed Osborne this morning for some roadway approach work, so it's going to be closed just for today. It'll reopen later today sometime. As soon as they get the approaches done and the asphalt cools off, it'll reopen. But that request came in yesterday, and so I advised.
You did, and we thank you for
public
that.
safety in advance, and the word got out as much as it could, and so that's ongoing right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else from department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the resignation of Senior Clerk Supervisor Jeanette Grigas Trevino, effective the close of business July 28th, 2024.
I recommend Chief Short request.
And I concur. Letter B, correspondence received from Ron Novak requesting the approval of the proposed license agreement renewal with Melody Cleaners of Hammond Incorporated and its representative, IWM Consulting Group, LLC, to provide access to property located at 5704 Calumet Avenue to test the soil and groundwater.
Morning.
Good morning, Ron.
This is a piece of city property that we acquired, and it's a former dry cleaners. Luckily, the responsible party is going to be responsible for not only the testing, but the remediation of that site. So this is the remediation company's representative. They're going to do continued testing there, and if there's any remediation, they hold the city harmless, make that site developable. So I recommend approval.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Letter C, correspondence received from Nancy Repay, St. John Bosco School, requesting permission to place safety cones on 171st Place, Monday through Friday between the hours of 7 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. to 3:15 p.m., starting on August 15th, 2024, to the first week of June 2025.
I know she's done it in the past, so
We-
we're
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah,
we're good.
we're good,
I
yeah.
recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter D, correspondence received from Reith Riley Construction requesting a 1-week closure of 169th from Southeastern to Northcott for full-depth mill and repaving effective August 5th, 2024 to August 12th, 2024.
It's our attempt to try to get this work done before school starts. And what's going on underneath the roadway is it's unpassable by car if we mill the street now.
Gotcha.
And so my advice or my request to the contractor was to do a full closure. And this is between Southeastern and Northcott, to go ahead and mill the whole street and pave the whole street and get it back open as soon as we can. We don't expect it to last any more than 5 days, obviously weather permitting for repaving, but this is about the only way we're going to be able to get this done in this way. So we'd ask for your approval.
Okay.
All right, I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 8, matters from board members.
No, sir.
You have anything?
No, sir.
Number 9, new business. Letter A, funding allocation request forms requesting $30,000 from the 2nd District Gaming Fund, $40,000 from the 5th District Gaming Fund, and $35,000 from the 6th District Gaming Fund, all to be allocated for Festival of the Lakes, submitted for approval. And they've all been signed by the mayor, the councilman, and the controller.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter B, notice of violation hearing for property located at 4334 Clark Avenue. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
We were called to the property by the Hammond Police Department on June 26, 2024, to inspect the conditions of the property. Thoroughly for the inspection, we found a second-floor apartment at the premises, and based on the current condition of the ceiling height, the stairway width, and the lack of fire separation, the ceiling height measured at 6'8", which is under the 7-foot limit, and the stairway width measured at 24 inches wide, which is less than the 3-foot requirement, and the lack of fire separation between the units, we request that the board affirm the order for removal.
You know, that's the owners, I believe.
You guys, can come up.
Do you understand that? You understand what he just said?
Not quite, sir. I don't understand. I put a lot of firewall in walls, but
Have you had a conversation with him yet?
We
No?
have not.
Okay. Okay, did you hear what he said?
yes, we heard. What-
Okay.
What we're saying is, two sets of stairs leading up to that. That's a back porch, the stairs he's talking about. There's a full, complete set of stairs that go on the outside. And it's not an apartment, it's just the attic that was turned into a sleeping, for someone's son before he bought the place. So now it's empty with storage, like an attic.
So the reason why it's considered an apartment is because it has a kitchen. If you guys remove the kitchen out of there, it will no longer be considered a separate dwelling.
Throw the stove out.
So you cap the line off for the stove, and then you take out the cabinets and the sink, and then that basically eliminates the potential use. We're not saying you guys were using it that way, because obviously you said no one is up there. So all we would request is that you take that out, and then therefore it becomes classified as a single-family residence again. So that's all we would ask you guys to
I
do.
mean, even though, we couldn't use that I don't understand, because it says that you've got to tear the top, tear the second floor off
Morning,
the
Brian.
house.
No, you don't have to take the second floor off.
That's what it said, the papers.
We're asking for removal of any dividing space that would create a place to sleep with the kitchen, and then it's considered a 2-unit. The biggest problem you have is not all that, it's the 7-foot ceiling height. That's not our code, that's International Residential Code, 7-foot minimum. So you're at 6'8". Reason for that ceiling height is for smoke buildup and an opportunity to get out. Take 4 inches, smoke builds up that much quicker. So we have to look at these things as the worst-case scenario. And someone staying in that residence, even as a bedroom or additional living space, is at risk because it does not meet these codes. Okay, this is not City Hammond Code, this is International Residential Code. We can't alter them or adapt. So that cannot be used as habitable space, okay? And things would need to be done to well, with 6'8" ceiling height, it's never gonna be habitable space unless you raise the roof.
That's right.
No. So that's what we're after, is that's the first thing we look at is ceiling height, and you just can't meet it, okay? So it's gonna have to be removed, okay?
So we're going to affirm the request today, and then hopefully you guys can have some conversation after the meeting or some other time to make sure that you're aware exactly what you need to do. Okay? Okay, as long as you understood that, then okay? Okay,
All right, I'm going to affirm the order for 4334 Clark.
and I'm going to concur. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Letter C, plat of a subdivision for Lil's Addition submitted for approval,
I recommend approval.
and I concur. Letter D, C Click Fix, 861 Michigan, littering, solo cups, beer cans, parking on grass, cannot use the bicycle ramp.
Good morning, Board.
Morning.
Yes, we've been receiving multiple complaints about this intersection. Basically, most of the traffic, it appears, is coming from the bar that's at 901 Michigan,
Yes.
but it's also happening 10 o'clock at night to like 2 o'clock in the morning when code enforcement isn't working and stuff. One of the previous requests through 311, I had transferred it to the police department and requested extra watches. According to Lieutenant Mickey, extra watches have been asked for, but I'm guessing they're just not acting on the people parking on the empty lots and stuff.
Well, who owns those lots, by the way?
They're privately owned. I believe there's 3 different parcels there that are owned by different people.
So do we know if the cars that park there are allowed to park there?
No, nobody's allowed, per city ordinance, you're not allowed to park on grass or dirt.
Okay, then we don't need an extra watch per se, we just need somebody out there writing tickets.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna take care of that part,
Okay.
okay?
All right, I'm gonna
And then
recommend that we
it's the
send this to
patrons
PD.
that are
Yeah.
coming out to their cars. I don't know if the bar's letting them bring the cups out with alcohol or whatever
Okay,
at night, so.
so we'll have that talk with the bar, and we'll also start writing tickets at the location. We're 100% positive they can't be on those lots, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, then I'll take care of that.
Because,
right.
yeah, a few years ago, we had neighbors parking on them lots, and I had a tow order through the courts, but that's because I was able to know who was parking there.
Okay,
These are just patrons of the bar that are parked there now.
okay, we'll
right.
take care of it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna recommend we send that to you? To
Yes.
PD? Okay, all right. I recommend we send this to PD for further investigation.
And I concur. Letter E, C-Click Fix, 1254 150th Street, requesting a slow children at play sign.
I received this yesterday. I drove over there. There was some children at a nearby home. I couldn't tell you whether or not they were in the street or, where they were going. I would ask if PD has a position on, I don't have any objection with putting a slow children at play sign up. The car I did see westbound was traveling fairly quickly when I was there. But I would ask if PD has any sort of
I don't-
opinion or position about
No.
what's happening there.
No, Dean, I don't really have a strong position either way. I don't know that that's going to actually slow people down, of course.
no.
But I mean, to put up a sign, I guess I don't have an issue with that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I have no objection to the request.
Okay.
It's simple sign.
Okay.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Signs don't slow people
No,
down.
no, but if it helps a little bit, that's better than nothing, I guess.
For sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I recommend we send this to Public Works to place the sign.
And I concur. Letter F, request for rental registration hearing submitted for approval.
I recommend we send this for August 15th.
2024. And I concur. Letter G, request for late business license hearing submitted for approval.
Recommend we set this also for August 15th, 2024.
And I concur. Letter H, garage sale permit submitted for approval. Garfield. Yeah, they're good.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter I, request for quotes from Nees Engineering for the Haas striping project. I do want to make it known that we did ask for 3 quotes, but only received 1, and it was from Hawk. And I'll read that now. Hawk's quote is $21,732.70. And that's from Hawk Enterprises. Anybody need that read over again? The amount is $21,732.70. 70, from Hawk Enterprises. Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back there in a second, I'll tell you.
I recommend that we send this to our consulting engineer for tabulation and assignment.
And I concur. Number 10, old business, letter A, order to rescind and release, order to demolish property located at 4749 Hickory Street, submitted for approval.
I'm happy to report to the board that this has been a complete rehab. I was just looking at the photos actually that Mr. Luter supplied. Sure, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
but Really nice rehab and great to be able to save this property, so I'd request the order be signed, or I'm sorry, approved and submitted.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter B, status, request for Anthony Burrish to paint curb. You have any feeling on this?
No, I don't know much about it, I don't know.
Here's a picture of what he'd like to do to his curb. The problem we have is if if we start allowing people to do this, who defines what looks good and what doesn't?
Yeah, I would think planning probably would be the ones to weigh in on that.
Okay.
I don't see anybody from planning here, either Mr. Poland or Mr. Novak, but my opinion would be similar to yours, is that if it's not a uniform, something that's allowed within the city, then I don't think you can grant it.
Okay. So what would be, just decline the?
Deny
okay,
the request?
okay,
Yeah,
decline.
deny the request, forward it to planning and zoning so they can contact the homeowner and explain why,
Okay.
I think would be the best.
Okay,
Okay, I'm gonna recommend the denying of the request and also to forward it to planning.
so they can contact him,
Right.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, and I concur. Letter C, status for 1933 Roosevelt.
Yeah, this is, asked Mr. Luter for an update on this. I set this over just because we haven't heard about this property in some time. Mr. Luter.
Yeah, this property's been listed for sale for several months. There's been a few interested buyers, but all the deals seem to fall through. I still receive complaints from some of the neighborhood about, not complaints, but wanting to know what the status of this property has. Been vacant for several years. Somebody did half a rehab on it, but the floor plan and the framing will require a complete rebuild of whoever purchases it. And I don't know if the demo order still stands, if we can continue moving forward, or we need to start over.
Our last demo order on this was dated recorded March 11th of 19. And then we had a rehab agreement that was signed and approved by this board on April 13th of 2021. It was signed by Jeffrey Youngheim, who was the trustee of the trust that owned the property at the time, which was Lake County Land Trust, number P as in Paul 5215. Nothing since then.
So we need to place it back on the repair or demolish list. We can get that paperwork going.
Yeah, Bill, could you also just, or Linda, we need to get ownership information updated, so we probably need to just reset it. And not with the board, I
Gotcha.
think we need to redo the demo, right? Is that,
Have Inspector Pajic work on that.
Okay.
Get moving forward.
Okay, so what's needed from us today?
Kevin, I don't think we need any action.
no action.
No action from us? Okay.
Just wanted to make sure this was not, lost.
Gotcha.
Okay.
In the shuffle.
Okay, moving on to letter D then, status for 607 State Street.
I received an email late yesterday from the owner. I think Mr. Luter was on it. The owner, Mr. Garros,
Garris, something like that.
has indicated that the glass is, it's a small commercial building on State. If you remember, there was like some graffiti that he
Yep.
got rid of. He indicated that the glass was arriving and that it would be installed soon, so I'm not sure what Mr. Luter wants to do on this. This was a rehab that expired on May 23rd, so it was set today for status.
Are we setting another status to
Do we
make
need
sure
a
it's
new rehab
completed?
agreement?
I think probably need you to run out there and take a look, and
No
then
problem with that.
request whatever you think needs to be requested on it.
I know he's working with an architect to lay out the inside plans, and then we'll have to wait for a construction design release from the state. That could take 6 weeks, 6 months, never know.
I'd say if we set it for 90 days, it'd be appropriate, and then in the meantime,
I'll get over there.
ask Mr. Luter to go over and if there's a need for a new rehab, we'll do that. There is a demo order on the property.
Well, no, do we want November 7th, or do we want October 31st? You have
October, 1031 works.
10/31 works? Okay,
All right. I recommend recommend 607 State for status for October 31st, 2024.
and I concur. Letter E, status for 6349 through 51 Jefferson.
So you may recall this is one where, I'm trying to remember her name, I always forget her name. The owner, the daughter of the,
Yes,
This is
Right.
Bruce Kimbrough.
yep.
yeah, Kimbrell. According to Mr. Luter, there was a sale recently. She appeared and said she was trying to sell it.
She was trying to sell it. I did receive word from a new owner that the property was purchased. I heard from his attorney. I referred him to Attorney Smith's office, and he says he hasn't heard from him yet, so I will work on making sure that that process gets going so we can get a rehab and bond posted for that property. The contractor's ready to move forward, but we need the formalities in place before they can begin work.
Well-
Because there's a new owner, I'd recommend a pretty quick status on this, so
Okay.
just to keep things moving. Bill, if they get a hold of you, you're gonna have to do an inspection, you already did?
No,
one. I thought-
inspection's already done, everything
It's
is
just about getting
laid out.
rehab.
It's about getting rehab and
So if we could do maybe 3 weeks, just to give Bill some time to get a hold of the owner.
Okay, so the 22nd
22nd?
of August? Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. I recommend we set this for status for August 22nd, 2024.
And I concur. Okay, moving on to letter F, status for 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
It was last up on the 28th of June. The owner was here, and the owner is
Sandy.
Sandy Arena. She mentioned that she had a new contractor, 30 to 45 days for final, which is why we set it for today at 8:01.
There's been no movement, no permits pulled by a new contractor, no inspections called in. I assumed she would be here this morning, but she is not here.
Okay.
So there's been no movement. I would recommend the same, that 8/22 day, a quick turnaround to make sure she's got everything in line, ready to move forward.
That's fine, if the board is okay with the 8/22 date.
Yeah, I don't like that she didn't show up
I don't
today, I
either.
gotta be
She usually
honest.
does.
She usually does.
So, okay, we'll do that.
All right, I'll recommend that we set this for status for August 22nd,
get a hold of her.
2024.
Yeah, I'll get over.
Okay, and I concur. Letter G, status for 251 Detroit.
251 Detroit, it was up on the 28th of June as well. Ms. De La Paz appeared, needs electric and plumbing estimates, and we reset it for today.
I think there was some discussion on the bond. I don't know if we ever made a decision on waiving the bond for her, because this is an owner-occupied home that for years went with no restoration of any kind, so the outside looked pretty rough. They did put a new roof on the property,
Yep.
but
She reported that.
we've come to an agreement that will allow her to do any of the building portion on a homeowner's permit, but licensed contractors for electrical, plumbing, and HVAC work. And then it comes down to whether or not the city's willing to waive the bond for her, seeing she lives there with her several children.
Yeah, I thought we already did that, or at least there was a request to do it, but I don't have a problem making it of record again.
Yeah, that was my memory also, that we did already,
That
but,
we did waive a bond?
we
I
did.
don't remember. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
we kicked
If
it
you
off.
want to go ahead and waive, it doesn't hurt to waive it again.
no, just to be safe,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that'd be
And that
recommendation.
will hopefully allow her to, but she should be here too, giving us updates on
Yeah,
electric.
she's
and-
usually-
So you want the August 22nd date?
We'll
Mr.
do
Luder?
8/22 on that day as well.
All right, so I'm going to recommend for 251 Detroit, we waive the bond and set it for status for August 22nd, 2024.
And I concur. Good, guys?
Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Number 11, the meeting's now open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say?
Uh-oh, Chief,
Chief, how are you?
how are you?
Good, thank you. I want to thank the board. A couple of weeks ago, I requested some signage to be put up on 169th and 70,000 block of Magoon. We had a problem with traffic going the wrong way.
Right.
The alley.
They posted, and it surely has helped. I didn't think signage would help,
Sometimes it does.
but in our case, it did. And on behalf of the neighborhood, I want to thank you guys for
You're welcome, Chief.
directing the street department to do that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, the meeting is still open to the public. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay,
I recommend adjournment.
and I concur. Thank you, everyone.